Okay, so, okay, fine. Remember, you guys are shooting from behind. Saka chita yoga uti panane space yakakwana.
Hello viewers, this is newzimbabwe.com and I'm Anna Chibamu. We are at the State House where the President Pres Mnangagwa is expected to address journalists on developments of coronavirus. For more on this, you can go to our website www.newzimbabwe.com or you can simply go to our YouTube channel, ZIFT TV.
Why don't we prioritize cameras? But I'm going to set up and we watch those time.
I'm live streaming. It's okay now.
Yeah. All of us were going to, when he comes.
It's not like our
You're blocking.
I'm going to kneel for these guys.
It's okay.
Looks okay. It's okay. It's fine. It looks okay. It looks okay or it is okay? So far, so good. So far, so good.
Close proximity.
Security is immovable. Yeah, it's fine.
No, I'm just thinking, can I kneel on it? Is there something inside?
Let me check.
Yeah.
Take your time, just set yourselves out, get your proper places, and then we get
Close proximity to each other, can I?
So the move
I'm going to kneel.
And that's not going to come.
It doesn't make sense. I'm going to lean on it. It's okay. This close proximity, guys. I need
if you want to sit them off. Are we ready?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So,
no, it's fine, but lens get it no, flashing. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Can I stand, Ekata? Can I stand? Sorry. Are you fine? For me?
hello viewers, in case you just joined us now, you're watching newszimbabwe.com, and we are at the State House where President Pres Mnangagwa is expected to address journalists on developments of COVID-19 disease.
His Excellency the President, get ready, please. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press, media organizations, and welcome to State House. His Excellency the President will read out a statement to you, and luckily he has agreed to pick one or two questions at the conclusion of this video. Thank you very much. President.
Good afternoon, members of the media.
Afternoon.
Fellow Zimbabweans, in the wake of the coronavirus, which is now a global pandemic and as a concern for all nations and the peoples of the world, we as Zimbabweans have to play our part. We have worked out a comprehensive response strategy, buttressed by strong measures which ensure we remain protected and secure as a nation, and in step with appropriate measures being taken by the rest of the world. While we are relieved that our country is still free from this virus, which continues to spread elsewhere across persons, communities, countries and continents, we stand in full solidarity with all peoples and nations of the world so far affected by the pandemic. Nations of the world have to stand together as one. Already, many lives have been lost. Many more people have succumbed or are unwell. Precious resources are being diverted towards the control and containment of the pandemic. We are under no illusion that what befalls our global neighbors today may eventually hit us and also affect our communities tomorrow. We thus must join hands with the rest of the world in tackling this pandemic collectively, even before it crosses our own border. We have to take preventive steps and all precautions that are necessary. We have to be ready with remedial interventions in case of actual outbreaks. Indeed, we have to have a national response plan for containing the pandemic once it reaches us. Dear Zimbabweans, what makes the problem even more challenging is that more still needs to be known about the virus, whose spread within and between communities, countries, regions, and continents is proving very rapid and exponential. Humanity is at risk and stands at hazardous crossroads. Worldwide, the pandemic's impact on national health systems has been enormous. Even developed health systems feel the strain. Those of fragile developing economies are struggling to cope. The trans-border trajectory of the virus that makes us all neighbors, turn us all into each other's keepers. Above all, it recommends global partnerships across all the divides that may have set us apart. We now have to join hands against this global threat while acting in unison within our immediate national neighborhoods. To date, national responses have been varied, with nations most affected or at great risk taking drastic, even draconian measures. These include complete lockdown of communities, towns, and cities in order to contain and check the spread of this virus. The social and psychological toll on communities has been unimaginable, yet those measures are necessary. Impact on national economies, on international relations, and on trade has been severe and continue to escalate daily. Today, signs of national and global economic recession and the crisis are already in evidence. We thus have to act decisively. In our case, we have seen key bilateral projects in many sectors, mostly, notably, in transport and infrastructures, either being slowed down or coming to a complete halt. Travel and tourism has taken a knock from a curtailed human movements. In our case, on the back of 2 successive droughts. While we have no recorded cases as yet, the economic impact of the pandemic is already being felt, threatening our Vision 2030 2030. The key challenge we all face is balancing effective measures that are necessary and have to be taken against the need to ensure our societies and economies continue to function optimally for common collective good. This is no easy balance. Government has been seized with this matter for quite some time, and our response and the state of readiness to date has included the following measures: creating systems for national alertness and rapid response to any suspected cases of the virus, strengthening screening and testing capabilities and capacities, both at various ports of entry and inside the country, for early detection and rapid responses. Creating isolation centers where suspected cases are examined and or treated safely. Contact tracing and screening to guard against the spread through inter-country infections and in-country transmissions. Reinforcing national health systems and institutional framework for an effective response. Improving community hygiene awareness and citizen action, including self-isolation and voluntary travel bans. Information dissemination and general national awareness. Creating a special fund to enhance measures against the pandemic. Transnational cooperation and collaboration in line with the World Health Organization rules, regulations, and pronouncements. In our small way, encouraging interdisciplinary research into this pandemic for a more scientific understanding of the problem. Dear citizens, the pandemic has reached our region and we now have to escalate our national response. Above all, we must readjust our lives and behaviors, including foregoing certain fixtures, activities, and practices we had grown accustomed to in order to keep the pandemic at bay. This holds true at all levels: personal, community, and national level. Today, government deliberated on this looming threat and has decided to take additional measures to ensure that our national response is effective, comprehensive, and complete. 1. Government has decided that the coronavirus pandemic be declared a national disaster. This allows government to mobilize resources and take necessary measures in dealing with the pandemic. With immediate effect and for a unified and coordinated effort, I have directed that our national disaster management machinery extend its mandate and focus to dealing with the pandemic, with the Ministry of Health and Child Care as the lead agency. Weekly reports will have to be made to Cabinet. We thank our local, bilateral, international, and multilateral partners for offering a helping hand, including additional funding, training, and upgrading and equipping of designated health facilities for effective response. 2, as already announced, government has curtailed unnecessary travel outside the country, especially to destinations in countries affected by the virus. That position remains in force. Travelers from high-risk countries are encouraged to postpone their travel arrangements to Zimbabwe for the next 30 days, starting from 20th of March 2020. Equally, Zimbabweans are discouraged from traveling to, through, and from high-risk countries during the same period. Non-essential travel must be avoided or discouraged by all of us. 3, while all our major entry points into the country will remain operational, screening, testing, and other World Health Organization recommended measures will be enforced vigorously. All designated small border crossings will stand closed down from now until further notice. 4, similarly, government is working with World Health Organization guidelines in handling and treating guests from other countries as they come into our country to stay with us. We continue to review this as necessary and strictly on the basis of available scientific evidence and information. Our response will neither be arbitrary nor reckless. To reduce the likelihood of infections and the spread of the coronavirus, government has now put all hospitals and the health facilities on high alert for COVID-19 kits and other accessories for screening. Handling, testing, and treatment continue to be availed. More isolation and treatment centers are being identified, designated, and equipped appropriately. 6, government has decided to postpone, curtail, or cancel public events, gatherings, and activities. In that respect, government has postponed the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, ZITF. All national independence celebrations previously planned and the pending international sporting fixtures until the threat of coronavirus recedes. All these activities will resume as soon as we are satisfied that our nation is no longer at risk. The resources originally earmarked for these events will now be redirected towards strengthening our defenses against the coronavirus and towards drought mitigation. Gatherings of more than 100 people, including those for purposes of worship and weddings, stand suspended for the next 60 days, after which the suspension will be reviewed. We must continue to heighten our vigilance. 7, we must continue to heighten our vigilance, always acting with care, consideration, and compassion. Individuals presenting clinical symptoms of the virus must come forward for tests and attention, including embarking on voluntary social distancing and submitting to all other control measures deemed necessary for the collective good of our country. 8, with immediate effect, all government premises must be equipped for screening procedures. In the same spirit, government encourages businesses and other establishments to do the same. so our response is total and effective. Personal hygiene and the use of alcohol-based sanitizers must be encouraged in all situations. Luckily, we have capacity to manufacture these sanitizers locally. In view of the fact that, number 9, in view of the fact that schools are only 2 weeks away from end of the first term, government has decided to keep them open, with the standard screening precautions being taken daily. Dates for reopening of all schools will be announced, taking into account realities on the ground. 10. A national communication task force on the virus and for disseminating accurate information and raising general national awareness on the pandemic will be immediately constituted. Should the situation escalate, government will not hesitate to take further and even more drastic measures for our common good. Going forward, our monthly national clean-up exercise must henceforth incorporate heightened awareness on the virus, including measures which experts recommend to ensure highest standards of public health. Fellow Zimbabweans, now is the time to show unity and purpose in our nation. We have to reach out to one another in fighting this deadly pandemic. It knows no political party, no ideological boundary, no color, no creed, no nationality. We either unite in fighting it, or it forces us together in shared grief. The choice is that stuck and ours to make. That choice is to be made now while there is still time. I count on you, fellow countrymen, on your support, so we work towards a virus-free Zimbabwe. I thank you and good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for that very elaborate statement. Well, we have come to question time. The President has agreed to take 1 or 2 questions from a very happy constituency. I see with shining faces.
Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Davison.
Identify yourself so the President gets to know you better.
My name is Davison.
Davison who?
Davison Kai. My question is...
Your organization, sir?
Okay, I'm a freelance writing for Reveal and Mail. My question is, there was a mention for schools and that are closing in the next 2 weeks. I wanted to understand also on the issue of colleges and universities. This comes in light of the circular that was circulating on social media concerning that issue that UZ was closing, something like that. So I wanted to understand also on the issue of universities and other colleges besides the schools.
Honestly, we expect the president to follow on social media. What I have said is what is formal. That's what the government position is. That the schools are going to close in 2 weeks, and we shall allow them to run again unless something drastic happens.
Next question, please. Yes, sir.
Privilege, Mr. DW News.
DW is or Deutsche Welle?
Deutsche Welle, yes, the German international broadcaster. The coronavirus is having a ripple effect on different industries. Right now in this afternoon, I was speaking to a farmer in Chimanimani who exports to Holland. They export flowers, and now flowers can't go because the auction floors have been closed. In other countries, we have seen government putting together packages to rescue companies that may feel the pinch of the coronavirus. is the Zimbabwe government is something? Are you considering something for maybe Zimbabwean companies that may be affected in the same vein?
Currently, we don't have the virus in the country currently, but we are fully aware that such a situation can arise, and we'll discuss it when the concrete effects face us as to how we can move forward and how we can ameliorate such a situation.
Yes, my dear sister.
Okay, my name is Anna Chibamu from newzimbabwe.com online. President, I want to know, is the country well resourced right now to provide the necessary test kits and other accessories that are needed in those departments or companies that you said precautionary measures will be taken when people enter? Things like masks. Last time when a committee of parliament went to visited the airport, we discovered that the immigration officials had no masks, but those from Zimra, they had. So are we well resourced as a country right now, or we are to source?
We are mobilizing resources. This pandemic did not give notice that it was coming. So this is why we are diverting resources from other economic activities in order to bolster our capacity to deal with this pandemic. Each day that passes, we increase our capacity to respond. And we are very thankful to several international organizations and governments who have come to our assistance. And we believe that we shall continue to be assisted, including the World Health Organization, which has people in the country and assisting us as to what we must do and the priorities of making sure we have the basic infrastructure to deal with the pandemic.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Shingi.
Shinginyoka, BBC News. You said earlier that you are acting in unison with neighboring countries, and yet we've heard more recently that countries like Botswana and Zambia, which have not yet had confirmed cases, taking more drastic measures, sealing off their borders to some of the people that are coming from these high-risk countries. You've said that you suggest that these people coming from these countries don't travel. Is there any reason why you're not taking more drastic measures and enforcing it and not leaving it open for people to decide whether they come in or not?
None of the SADC countries have imposed or closed borders with another country. South Africa has not closed the borders with us. Botswana has not closed the borders with us. Zambia has not closed the borders with us. Mozambique has not closed borders with us. Zimbabwe has not closed any border with these countries. All what we have done, we have intensified the screening of our nations, of our nationals, as they transit between our neighboring countries. Regarding people coming from abroad, we are discouraging, we are discouraging those people to come to Zimbabwe, or our people going to high-risk countries. But if we receive any travelers from those countries, we quarantine them for 14 days before we allow them to mingle in Zimbabwe at port of entry.
Thank you, sir. I still see more hands. Yes, sir.
Okay. My name is Pindai from ETV. Looking at the fact that there are a huge number of Zimbabweans staying in South Africa, and there's a higher number of cases of corona there. Can you say, what's your message to them, the huge number of Zimbabweans in South Africa? Would you want them back home when there is no corona?
My view is that South African brothers and sisters are as good as Zimbabwe's brothers and sisters. There's no distinction as to whether the threat is to a Zimbabwean or to a South African. The concern is equal.
Yes, sir.
John Cass in South Africa. If I hear you well, Mr. President, you're saying that no borders have been closed. Earlier you said there are small borders that have been closed. To which countries? Because you indicated Mozambique, Botswana, South Africa, that they have not closed borders to Zimbabwe. So these small borders, they are leading to which country?
Crossings, not borders.
These are, most of them are ungazetted crossing points, which we are making sure, because there is no infrastructure in those places. But the major borders, like your Bible Bridge, your Plum Tree, your Victoria Falls, your Forbes, I've mentioned Forbes, Chirul and so on. Those are the major borders which you have be closed. Either on our side or on the side of whatever it has be closed. Even in South Africa, there's not closed all the major borders. They've closed the small and designated borders where criminals cross.
Yes, I still see another hand.
Takuzo Chambaki from ZIFT TV. Is Vision 2030 completely derailed?
Sorry?
Is Vision 2030 completely derailed, or there's still time to make adjustments?
The Vision 2020 is premised on a stable economic environment. The pandemic does not show that a stable economic environment will continue to exist.
Do we have, yes, my dear?
My name is Sharon Tawaya from New Zealand. Your Excellency, Cabinet had resolved that quite a number of prisoners will be set free under the presidential amnesty towards the prison coup. My question is, now that Corona could spread to Zimbabwe, is the government waiting for Corona to arrive before we empty the prisons?
The program of the amnesty has no relationship with the pandemic. I don't know where you want to relate it. We, in other measures, we are discouraging people to visit their loved ones in prison. That will be restricted. If there's a safer place now, it is prison.
They always have a clever way of smuggling. Any more questions, colleagues?
Just one.
One more? Okay, fine. Yes.
So, President, you are with us now. You're not going anywhere. You are not traveling?
I announce when I want to travel. I announce when I want to travel. If I ever left the country secretly?
No, in regards to this coronavirus. I'm saying you are now with us for the time being.
I can assure you I will always remain in my country. And only go out when it is necessary to be inevitable.
Comrade President, on that neighborly note, can we... Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, viewers, for watching NewZimbabwe.com. My name is Anna Chibamu. You've been watching the president giving a statement on the developments here in Zimbabwe on coronavirus. And so many measures have been put across by government to try and contain the pandemic that has killed more than 6,000 people globally. Thank you for watching. And for more news, you can go to our website, www.newzimbabwe.com, or you can simply go to our YouTube, NewZimbabwe TV. Thank you.